Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Marsh alongside Chuck Kraus, and it's time to go over the Maryville Saints women's hockey schedule. We'll start with the home schedule, then make our way over to the road schedule. But first, let's talk about some of these rivalry games that we're going to see right here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. We have McKendree and Lindenwood not only once, not only twice, but 3 times. The Saints are playing the Lions right here at the Maryville University Hockey Center, twice against McKendree.
Yeah, as if we didn't see him enough last year, right, Marshy? So we're still going to face him many times, like you said, this season. That's how you form rivalries. That's how you form, good, hard-fought games. That's exactly what we're going to see this season.
There's a few big-time schools on the docket for this women's team, and it's right off the bat. Miami of Ohio comes and plays at the Dog Pound, and then later in the season, to round things out, we're going to see the defending national champions. They've been there quite a few times, the Liberty Flames.
Yeah, to be able to host a team that wins the national championship, I think that's so cool. You get to see where you stand. You get to invite the champions in, and they're from the Northeast, so it's kind of a far travel. Makes for great hockey games.
Another team that will be heading to the Dog Pound is Aquinas, and we'll also see them on the away schedule, but we don't want to get into that just yet. So Aquinas will come here. Also, GCU, that's Grand Canyon University, they'll make their way to the Dog Pound. Following then will be Minot State. So Minot State will travel from North Dakota all the way to Missouri and take on this women's hockey team. And then, of course, Midland, we've seen them on the men's side. Well, they're coming here as well. The women's team is going to take on the Warriors. And then the Indiana Tech Warriors also coming to the Dog Pound. So it should be a great slate of home games. I'm very excited to see what this team can do this year.
Yeah, like you mentioned, from the men's side, we see, Minot State, Liberty, Aquinas, we see what kind of programs we have. It doesn't taper off for the women's side. They have some great hockey teams. They have some great programs all across the board. So, I'm sure that the women's team here in Maryville, excited to play these bigger name schools, excited to travel, see them away, and invite them back to the Dog Pound.
Not only are they probably excited to travel, but they're excited to get some fans in the stands.
Absolutely.
Something that we did not see last year. So fans are able to come and support their teams this year, come and support this women's team. Their second season ever. They got the first one out of the way during a weird COVID year. Now they have a full slate of games. We went over the home schedule. Let's go over the away schedule. Their first away trip is to McKendree on September 25th, where they'll be taking on the Bearcats.
Yeah, let's go over to McKendree. Let's go across the river. Let's play some hockey. It's exactly what they're going to do. Like you said, you start with McKendree, a rivalry, great games.
So the first 2 actually are against McKendree. So they'll go to McKendree the 25th, and then in October, they'll also head to McKendree October 12th. That's their second road game of the season. Not a lot of road games compared to home games, but the big one is the third road trip of the season, and that is against Miami of Ohio. That is November 19th and 20th, and it's good to see that they're playing later in the season because they get to take on the Red Hawks earlier in the season, like I mentioned, on the home schedule, which is in September. So a couple months in between there, give or take, and they'll be able to take on the Red Hawks once again on the road.
Yeah, when you have that big of a break, it's if you lose, you just have that game circled later in the year. Let's get redemption. Let's beat them. And then if you come out, a winner, that team's going to be coming against you. They're going to want to win. So the way the schedule is kind of mapped out makes for some really good hockey games, really good rivalries to be built. And now that we're playing teams we've never seen.
Exactly. In December, the next road trip, they'll be heading to Indiana, taking on Indiana Tech. And then also in December, they're heading to the Centene Community Ice Center where they'll take on the Lions of Lindenwood. So they'll have a couple opportunities to play the Lions at home, like we just said, the same thing about the Red Hawks. And then they'll head to their barn and have an away game. In February, wow, we just jumped from December to February. Davenport will host this women's team. And that is a team that we will not see at home, but we'll see them on the road. So a big test for this Saints squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into, you don't see this team in your barn, but you're going to go travel and play against them in their own barn. So it's really good to see, how you stand against a team like that. Cool to travel up there and, like we say about most of these teams, Marshy, Davenport, all these names, all these teams, great programs.
Yeah.
It's going to really show where we stand, and I keep saying where these women stand for the rest of the season.
Chuck just wishes he was on the team.
I do.
On
Men's,
all the
women's,
teams.
I'll do it. Let's go, guys.
Strap on the pads. Here he goes, right? The last team on the away schedule is Aquinas. Like we mentioned earlier, pretty much the same thing. You play them at home, you play them on the road. It's good to get that action early and then take them on later in the year. And that's actually the last game of the regular season, which is on February 20th. So, after the regular season, what comes next, Chuck?
Oh my gosh, Marchie. Tournaments?
Tournament time. Yes, the conference tournament. That is the WMCH. That is going to be held right here at the Maryville University Hockey Center, February 25th through the 27th. So you're not going to want to miss it. And definitely don't miss any of the other games that will be played beforehand. But that is when this team will be put to the test. We'll see how they fare. It should be a great season for this ladies team. First year in the books. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
But let's regroup. Second year coming right now. Not right now. You have to wait a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit. But this fall, all the fans, you're not going to want to miss it. Should be fun. Well, everybody, that's going to do it for the Maryville Saints women's hockey schedule release. We went over the home games. We went over the road games. What series are you looking forward to most watching this upcoming year?
McKendree and Lindenwood are always great games. But like I said with the men's, playing teams like Liberty are always awesome. They're the defending champs. So I'm really looking forward to the women inviting Liberty into the doghouse, the dog pound, and seeing where we stand with the defending women's champions.
I agree. I mean, that's probably the biggest team that you have on your schedule.
Yeah.
You can't get any bigger. They
No.
just won the championship. They just won the national title. So you have to have them circled on your calendar. I know I do. But if you want to watch this women's team play right here at the Maryville University Hockey Center, get on down here because this year fans are in the stands like I've mentioned before. Well, that's going to do it for us. If you want to follow this team on social media, you can at MU Saints W Hockey. If you want to watch more cool videos like this one on YouTube, follow the women's team at Maryville Women's Hockey. It's going to be a great year. The first year in the books. Next year, it's coming up right here in the fall. You're not going to want to miss it. So everybody, have a great summer. I'm Andrew Marsh. This is Chuck Kraus. You've been watching the Maryville Saints Hockey Network schedule release for the women's hockey team. Everyone, have a great day.